All right. I just spent my first nerple hunting session, and what I did was I was looking for consistency or standardization as much as possible. I'm sure I can improve that over time, but for my first attempt, that's my target is like make everything. I'll lay it out in a second. Um, what I did what for standardization. And then the other thing was I just grabbed 14 of my favorite stocks at the time. The ones my ape brain is interested in. Just the ones I would normally trade just this week. And it's always changing, like this week anyway. My ape brain trading skills. And as I'm curious, like, okay, what kind of nurples can I find among those first? And then next time I go hunting, I'll maybe pick some that I don't have. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know what my next batch is actually, but it doesn't really matter. Um, and then the other thing I'm trying to do is take the day trading version, like the short time span, 1 day version that the guy was talking about, and trying to make translate that into a longer term, day to a week to even a month long opportunity. Or setup, I should say setup. So I can check it, every couple of days. I'll come check a stock, and if it's starting to form that pattern on a bigger scale like that, I'll be able to find it in time to make like a week long trade where I just lock it, forget about it, check on it every couple of days. It'll have that safety net in there, so it'll automatically sell if it gets too low when I'm not watching. Um, what else can I say about that is, um, I don't know, like let's just move on. I'm not going to list through the stocks. I think, yeah, you can read them from the screen on the video. I wrote little notes down next to them. I'm actually going to refer to those as I just go through my hunting session screenshots for um, each stock of the 14. I'll spoiler. I'm sorry I didn't do it earlier in this video, but here's a spoiler alert. Here's the results of the 14. 6 times didn't work. These are nerples that I identified just out in the wild on these 14 stocks. Of those 14 nerples I detected, 8 times it worked and 6 times it did not work. Not working means I identified a nerple setup, and the stock behavior just like uh, it didn't swing up, it didn't swing in the upward direction. It just either went down or it went sideways. In those two cases, set down or sideways, it's just gonna stop. It's gonna automatically sell for you. You set it up to automatically sell for you. So you might, I guess when this thing's, so this is 57% success rate effectiveness, but that's only over 14. I'd like to get another couple hunting sessions in, so I have, you know, uh, I have 50, more than 50, and I'll have a more accurate. Because who knows? This might go up. It could go down. I'm hoping it goes up. Um, so it didn't work means the nerple formed and it was identified, but it's not useful because you either get feed or you just break even. Okay, and your money's tied up. Um, until you go check out the next 2 days of like not paying attention because it's all doing automated, but it stopped out immediately or something, and you could have been having it on something more successful. Okay, so here's the first one. What is it? What do we got? What do we got? Okay, Archer Aviation. This is the one I'm 75% vested into right at the moment this week. And for just using my Ape Brain. But yeah, this is a good one to start with. Archer is the electric battery powered vertical takeoff and landing um, taxi service that will seat either 5, or they have a smaller version for cheaper that seats 2. And they are going to be high end taxis that fly straight lines like a bird. So to my work, it would be 5 miles straight like a bird. And they're doing like $4 a mile. So about $25, $25 a trip. So 25 or $50 round trip. So you got to be making the buco to do that, but it does get you to gets you wherever you're going quicker, and you're not tied up in traffic. Even when you're doing FSD cars, full self-driving taxi cars, they are still stuck in traffic. Although you do get to do whatever you want and just sit in the car and do whatever you want. Okay. Am I gonna go through a spiel like that for every stock? Okay, that's probably not good. I am excited about this one because I'm 75% invested in it right now. Long. I'm just going long. Just hit it and like not even look at it. Kind of long. Um, and I'm very lucky I did that because I mean I can always stop, but it was nice that I was my Ape Brain picked the stock because look, here's the first nerple. You identify the low below the -80 on the 60-day moving average, and as soon as you see that, it's on the watch list, and it's going to be looking for a formation like this diagonal here, where as soon as this purple line moving average starts going up after it collects some fuel, then as soon as it starts going up, you immediately go up, straight up, and is the red, the 9-day moving average, above 60. Yes, it is. It's almost by 80. Like at that point, it's like 60 to 80. Blah, blah, blah. You got some nerple. You've got a nerple. So you would buy in here and expect a run up, a swing upwards. And this one lasted, okay, it started in mid-November and it lasted through, um, well, early January. So it's like almost 2 months of just automatic, your safety net's following it up, and right about here is when it probably stops out. Stop loss, that's like your safety net that automatically sells for you when you're you know hibernating in a cave and not paying attention to it. So that would be a good run. Oh, too bad I missed it. It was in mid-November. Oh well, I guess it doesn't apply to my investment, which was like a few, on the Valentine's days when I invested, which is over here. So it doesn't actually apply to my investment at the moment. But as our first Nurple, that's what it looks like. I'm looking for uh, purple lake of purpleness down here, and then as soon as it starts going up, that's when you look up and see if the red 9-day moving average is above 60. Um, Interesting to see that it dropped here, but it was still going up. But then as soon as it drops and all four of these start dropping, you start losing gas. So when I got in, it's kind of, I don't know, there's not a nerple. It's something else. They're not tanking, but it's probably going to run out of gas. So I got to be careful. All right, the next one is Hims and Hers, the boner pills, the hair loss pills. Um, I forget what they do for women. Do they do the Ozempic, or is that One of my other ones is Noro Nordisk. The creepy. They have the bull for their symbol, like that's ancient Egyptian symbols for Anunnaki. Just saying. But this is their competition right now. Is Hims and Hers. They have I've found two nurples. I'll just get to the nurples. Sorry, I get excited about every single one of these stocks. I just noticed that. So instead of giving a lecture on each stock, we're just here for the nurples. Okay, we got filling up the tank down here with nurple, and they all four start shooting up, and sure enough, you get a 60. Well, dang, that's a pretty small scale. Maybe it's something. It looked like something was going on, but it's such a small scale compared to where they went lately that it just shrunk the scale. You can't see it. It looks like they went up probably. Man, I love when the costs are low. When you're down there like below $20 on a stock, it looked like that. That's what it was going on down here. Oh, I love those because you get bigger volatility. I love volatility because I can wait. I can just wait for entire year and make a year's salary. Compare comparable to a job on one stock. Worst case, you just wait on it and you're holding the bag the whole year, and then it pops up. From 15 up to like 45 all of a sudden. And here, like this one, went from like 20 up to like 70 almost. And like you just had to hold on to it for a year, a couple years. So anyway, I just put a question mark because I don't know. I can't tell. It looked like it went up though. And then the second one, a little lake and a lot of excitement up above the 60 on the red, and it led to a nice, healthy swing up. Okay, I should have mentioned this at the beginning when I met about the standardization. I set every single one of these 14. I set at 2 years, so everything's uniform and consistent. So I have a setting saved on. This is my fidelity. I have a setting saved that just shows the purple nerple setting, 2 years time frame, and everything's scaled consistently. I mean, not correctly, but consistently. And then I even have like this 50-day blue moving average and a deep purple 150-day moving average. This lighter purple on my nerple lines are the purple nerple line is 60. So this deeper purple is a 150. And what I like to do is look for when the stock breaks up above the 50s and the 150s. If it breaks up above it, they call it a positive cross. Ooh, that gets me excited because that usually leads to what we were seeing right here. This is a combo purple nerple and a positive cross of the 150 and the 50. This is like full house, man. This is like a full house set of cards right here. And it led to a healthy thing. You'd have to have a nice, you have to have a pretty shallow stop loss, though. I think you'd stop out like right here, or probably even here. But for right here, you'd have like a month of, that's probably like a 10, 15, 20% gain right there when you're talking down here in the $20, $25 range down there. But you probably would have got stopped off unless, but that's okay. You always can get right back into it. As long as this, I wouldn't get back into it right here just based off this stuff. If the red's like dipping down below 60 too much, I'd probably be too scared. Or maybe just like do some, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really thought that through about how to play these nerples correctly. It's kind of fun to think about. All right, next one is Moderna. Okay, they're going head to head with RFK Jr., who does not like vaccines, but Moderna is a badass mRNA vaccine maker, and they're pretty badass. And so that's why they look the last 2 years they've been doing very good, and then they have not been able to bounce back. I don't know what happened here that caused them to tank because it was like, I mean, election season wasn't until Feb. We haven't got the results of the elections. I don't know, but look at this purple nerple tank filling up this lake right here. You know what? That I'm gonna draw it in because I missed it. I missed it. Why isn't that not a purple nerple? So you got a huge lake down here below the 80, and it starts to okay. It goes up a little too slow right here. I guess maybe that's it. It doesn't really go up too fast. I don't know. Seems like that would be it because you got these guys going up all four. I'm drawing it in live here. You got this the ramp action right here. So then if you go straight up, this is a fail. I'm going to draw it as a fail. And so I just draw an little dotted line. Because you would set your safety net at that, that or a little bit below it. Set a little below it and you're going to lose a little money on a failed prospect here, failed hypothesis. So you would have stopped out like right here. I'm just drawing in for symbolic reasons. A stop line, because where you're gonna, oops, I'm getting chicken pox all over. All right, so what do I want to say about that? I say stopped out. Stopped out. So that's another fail. I'm gonna add that to my stats. I'm not right now, but I'm gonna say this is times it did not work is 7. And total detected is 15. I'll just fix that later. But you get the idea. You gotta keep this scientific. As much as I want this nerple, but I gotta do more. I do like over 50 nerple detections, and then the verdict will come in more accurately. Too many of these stopped outs, it's not gonna be a good one. All right, next one is Tesla. They got me. Um, they got me into investing back when Elon was cool. Now he's like going for technocracy, leader of not the galaxy. I don't think he's that ambitious. I think leader of technocratic leader of the solar system. Let's say that. I think he'd get to Mars, be the leader of Mars and Earth, and he's just like too bored if he lives that long. Okay, so we got another stopped out. This pattern right here, I call it the Purple Mountain Majesty. You got a upward. I just noticed every once in a while, and there was some good price action up whenever I notice it. Like, here's another one. Two peaks that are above Purple Mountain, and then you got this like Majesty, the 60-day moving average line wisping away. It reminds me of a Mount Mary's Peak by where I grew up. You go up to the top of that, and you can see the clouds wisping past underneath you when you're standing up at the top. That reminds me of this mountain from my hometown. So I call it Purple Mountain Majesty, and you can see there's price action, a swing up. I've just like stored those away on another file. Like every time I'd see one of those, I'd store it away. And I'm like, I haven't got time to make sense of it or see if it's actually a pattern. But I like that. An emerging pattern, maybe. Okay. Moving on, Tesla, we got Xpeng. Okay, Tesla's rival over in China. Been trading them. I've been trading all of these stocks, all 14, by the way. Like every week I'll just like switch it up, whatever makes the most. Yeah, I adapt to the conditions and what makes the most sense. But these are all stocks that I've traded before recently. Um, yeah, well, you see what happened. Um, I kind of feel like there's a downward, like the red lost its above 60 steam right away. That might have some influence on that. Okay, and then we got Nvidia. They tricked me this week. I got out. I got out and took my loss. Took my grand loss and moved on and tried to forget until just now. Now I'm getting reminded. I'd forgotten successfully. Good coping skill. Oh, we got some Purple Mountain Majesties leading up all these double runs up here. I don't know. There might be something to that, but they're top heavy. You can't really see from the scale because it's squished, but this is the last 2 years, right? And this is when the AI revolution. They're the biggest company on the. I'm pretty sure they're the biggest one on the S&P 500. The market basically. They're the biggest stock in the market. You can't really tell though because it's squished in this perspective. But they are a little overbought. A lot of people are saying it's kind of like the sad end game of really successful stocks is like everyone invested in them was invested in them because of a consistent run build up, a consistent increase in revenue and profits on an exponential scale. It's like you need an exponential scale to maintain that interest by investors. But if you're just doing a linear up growth, like a healthy linear up growth from every business perspective, like Nvidia is doing, you're still going to start have waning interest, and the waning your stock price is going to go down. But they are pumping money. They're using their capital they have available from the stock investors that are giving them, and they are smartly allocating them to infrastructure and all this stuff. I have no idea because I haven't studied the stock at all. I just got in and out because I noticed it went above the 50 and the 150 moving average last week, and got me excited. Got a little disappointed because they just like that's when I start like the more it's like it seems like I'll notice a pattern and I'll know like I'm talking about the stocks obviously maybe more than average. I know about the stocks and the companies and stuff, but I don't know like everything about a company. I used to about Tesla because it was the only thing I was invested in for a while there, but now I'm branching out of them and trying to learn about all these other stocks, and I'm nowhere near an expert on any of them really. So I'll get sucked into one, put my money on it, and that's when I'll start learning about it. I'm like, what did I just do? And I'll just like learning about the company, and that's it. It actually motivates me to do it. And I was already confident about the pattern. You don't really need to know much about the company, but those are like big influences though in like week to a month. Anything that happens in the news about it, it's definitely gonna affect it. But if you're just doing it for like a couple of days, like scalping or something, it doesn't really matter about the news. You just see the trend. Okay, moving on. And Palantir, nothing. They're just a figment of history at this point. Who they got in a fight with not in a fight. The Department of Defense got cuts, and so everyone started saying Palantir, who's a main, they're one of their bread and butter industries is def, um, defense technologies. Well, when Doge started cutting and slashing, the slash burn finally got to the DoD, and so everyone's thinking that they're gonna go down. That just happened like right here, so I don't think that shows in this. It's not showing up in the chart yet. This is from yesterday, by the way. But they're building some lake. The purple lake is filling up, so this purple moving average could start swinging up, and then at that point, this is like in a few days to a week, that starts turning for the up. Then I'll notice if there's a ramp here, and I'll look straight up, and if this red is above the 60, that's when I will place a trade with a appropriate stop, and hopefully it doesn't keep going sideways. Hopefully it'll swing up. So that's Oh, this is AMD. Oh, I thought we were still in Palantir. Sweet. All right, that was AMD that we have a watch list on AMD. They've been taking and taking and taking. But at some point, what goes down must come up, right? You just don't want to go in when they're still going down. They're well below the 50 and 150 moving averages. So based on that, they're not going to have a breakout for a while because they're just like they're competitors with Nvidia, where I they're running the AI. We're like at the top of the AI bubble. I think like Blue Seat came in last week or a couple weeks ago, and just pulled the rug on the whole AI economics. Basically, DeepSeek did what Nvidia and all, all these big AI players are doing for lots of money. DeepSeek did it for next to nothing. So they're all losing steam. They don't have that exponential growth anymore like they did a year ago. Okay, and what we got? Well, we got Intel. Old man Intel, been there since the beginning, since the .com bubble. And well, as far as nerples go, perfect. Nope. These were not. This is almost not. Oh no, this is okay. I kept this because this one and this one, they're twins. If you're going in real time, you don't know that you can't see all the future to the right of this vertical line. You only see what's to the left of it. This looks like a good setup, but it's going to stop. It ended up stopping you out. Same thing, just repeat. And it looks like it's above the 60 or it's going to move there. So I guess what you could learn from these two is maybe wait a little longer so it kind of it's frothier up above the 60 longer, and let the early birds get the worm without you, but that just is going to build sentiment and build momentum, and hopefully that frothiness, like it's like the red boil cooled too soon. Maybe let that boil heat up everything around in the pot so it just like keeps the frothiness. Like right here, look at this frothiness right here, and look how it's swinging up. Boom. I didn't detect this because like there's no purple lake. Maybe I got the pattern wrong. The more I do this, the more I'm going to understand what exactly the nerple is. Right now, I'm identifying as the purple lake, But maybe it doesn't need to be for Purple Lake. I don't know. But look at this friggin' thing. But who knows? Maybe there's something in the news. Intel in the news a year ago uh beats me. They've been like the world's most boring company. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. I wasn't paying attention a year ago. They did pretty good. I guess because it's like they weren't doing anything with AI. So a year ago, that's when the AI ramp was going, the AI craze. But I don't remember them doing anything with AI. Like everyone was like, "What are you doing? You're asleep at the wheel. What are you doing?" Unless I got that wrong, could be. Oh, okay, New Scale, my hometown hero, Corvallis, Oregon. New Scale, love it. They are small modular reactors. You can fit them on flatbed trucks or flatbed train cars, and you can scale up the energy for commercial, industrial, residential, all of it. Like you just keep. Um, it's perfect nuclear application, and it's from my hometown, Corvallis, Oregon. Um, you got a mixed bag here. Okay, there's no purple lake here, so but it reached down, it touched it just touched the water line. It just touched the water line, the -80. I don't know. I this isn't good to keep because it's not consistent with the lake, the purple lake. For now, I'll just put a. It's not consistent because there's no lake, so I'm gonna say, uh, how do I do this? What color have I not used? I've got all the colors. I'll just use black and say nope. Wrong. Wrong. Okay. No, and I got to change my dang stats. But that one was it just means this. Just means back to back to 14. Okay. Right? Because yeah, we take one away, but it's not good or bad, so we just take one away. Okay. Where do we go? Where do we go? We got Tesla. We got Intel. New Scale. That's oh, near and dear to me. And look at their run up. Look at that run up. And Trump's cool with New Scale. Um, they're the leader of the pack. They got another one. Do I have Nano? Yeah, I got Nano on here. Are they there? There's their rival, Nano. Nano is like it's all smoke and mirrors, man. They're acquiring lots and lots of patents. Like they got some cool flashy patents, but their CEOs, there's several of them, and like I hear they're all asleep at the wheel. They're not like actually working. So I don't know, man. It just might be some egomaniacs just pretending. We've seen it before. We've seen it with that blonde lady CEO was like trying to pretend she was like the Apple CEO Steve Jobs and had a deep voice. She did that medical company where she pretended it and like got all these people investing and everything, and then turned out it was a fraud. And then the same thing. Okay, pretty seemed like those hydrogen semi truck company. I'm having a hard time remembering them because they've been out of the game for like a couple years ago is when it happened. The guy they basically caught him like they found out that the hydrogen trucks didn't work. I'm not saying hydrogen trucks don't work. I'm saying their hydrogen trucks. It gave the whole industry a bad rap after that. But like I'm just being fair. It's just their hydrogen trucks. Anyway, that's what I think is going on with Nano. So I touched it for a little bit, but I got creeped out. It's just like one of those ones where I went in because the pattern looked good. That it just shooting straight up above this 50-day moving average or 150-day moving average. Like, heck yeah! I mean, it was a good ride. But that as is happening, I'm like learning about that. I'm like, these are creeps, man. I think they're lying. So I got out of there as soon as I cut and run. No, as far as nerples go, the whole point of this whole video, nothing there. Tempest AI, that was the Nancy Pelosi trade, the latest one. And look how like she got calls like so she was really gambling down here. And then to be fair, a lot of it's just people copying her, and it's not really like a good smart trade by her. It's just like anything she does builds momentum like this. So of course I got in, and that was great. Thank you, Nancy Pelosi. Thank you for my new truck. But perfect nerple, perfect nerple. So this nerple I think is man-made. Well, it's all man-made, right? But it's not natural. It's because Nancy Pelosi has such a huge following that they copy her trades. This nerple, it's perfect looking. It's like the textbook example, but it's because of her her popularity. Oh boy. But still, seriously, thank you, Nancy. Thank you for that truck. Norvo Nordic, okay, they're behind Ozempic. They are responsible for Ozempic, and I think that Norvo Nordic. Oh, they're getting affected by the tariffs. Just like I think Moderna is getting too, but they're actually going head to head with our Robert Kennedy, the health guru guy, just appointed health guru guy. Okay, Applied Digital. Okay, this is my current, and this is the last one. This is the last one. Applied Digital is the company, the AI data center infrastructure that NVIDIA, the largest chip company, is using. They're hiring and buying them to, not buying them. They're hiring them for supporting the infrastructure NVIDIA needs, and a whole bunch of other people. I forget the whole list, but there's like all these big people. I feel like I feel like I'm excited about it. I'm not just advertising because I'm currently invested in them, but like 25% invested in them. Yeah, no, this is definitely not investment advice. I'm a dumb ape. Applied Digital. Yeah, so I think that instead of, it was like as soon as I realized, wait, Nvidia is at the end of their run. They're now smartly allocating all their capital and investing it into like infrastructure before it goes away, before the bubble pops on them. They're like, and so it's like you see that happening. It's like, well, I'm not going to invest in Nvidia because even they're selling. Their CEO is selling his own shares and everything, so everyone else is going to too. It's going to trigger the machines to sell off. So like, this is like, I felt scared. Like, this is the dumbest buy I've done in a long time. But the more I learned about them after I invested, the more I started learning about them. That's when I learned about they're pouring money into this Applied Digital company. So I was like, well, they're at like they're at like $10 right now. That's my favorite stocks, is when they're below 20, right? So I'm like, dude, I'll just like invest and then forget it. So now I got two long investments, and I can just not pay attention to them. They got time to just grow on their own. They can go up and down. I don't care for weeks. I don't care, because then that'll give me time to develop this trader tool anyway. So I don't have to like sit there and waste my time paying attention to my stocks. I'm gonna be paying attention to this pattern and the purple mountain majesty pattern too, or anything like that emerges. So I think that's it. Um, I guess next video will be another 14, but different, and I'll try to learn a bit about them. But if I don't, then the video will go a lot quicker. I can notice I just get excited about these companies the more I know about them. So that would mean longer videos. So peace out.